According to the 2008 Waste Management Industry Survey conducted by Statistics Canada, Canadians produced over 1,000 kilograms of waste per person, virtually the same per capita production as in 2006. Of this total, 777 kilograms went to landfills or was incinerated, while 254 kilograms was diverted from landfill. Overall, this translated into 34 million tons of waste handled by the waste management industry. 26 million tons of that waste was disposed of in landfills or was incinerated, and over 8 million tons was diverted or processed through materials recovery facilities or centralized composting operations.
This video aims at comparing Toronto, Alberta, and Nova Scotia's waste management issues and strategies for future administration. This chart shows that Nova Scotia allocates the most amount of money per capita to composting, recycling, and disposal facilities. Ontario spends the majority of its waste management budget on the diversion of its wastes. Alberta follows behind Ontario for its transportation of waste.
Although Ontario produces the largest amount of total waste at 9,631,559 tons, Alberta has the highest per capita waste disposal at 1,122 kilograms per person. Nova Scotia, with a population 75% smaller than Alberta's, produces roughly one-quarter the amount per capita waste compared to Alberta.
Toronto has a population of 2.48 million people, which produces roughly 1 million tons of waste annually. Types of waste generated by vendors include plastic and glass bottles, aluminum cans, foam takeout containers, and cardboard boxes. These are held in blue bins. Green bins hold food waste, soiled paper napkins, and plates. Anything remaining is considered garbage, which includes drinking straws, beverage cups, and any plastic packaging. This chart shows that glass, with 100,000 tons of waste generated, has the highest recycling rate at 90%. Plastic packaging has the highest disposable rate of 75%. Although printed paper compiles the majority of waste generated, it has an 80% recovery rate. Toronto's waste facilities in operation include maintenance yard, composting and recycling facilities, transfer stations, and household hazardous waste depots. Reuse centers recycles e-waste, durable goods, and mattresses. The City of Toronto closed its disposal operations on December 31, 2002, when the Keeley Valley landfill site stopped receiving waste. The City acquired the Green Lane landfill effective April 2, 2007, securing the City's long-term disposal requirements. The City began sending all of its residential garbage to the site in January 2011. This pie chart shows how Toronto allocates its $343 million waste management budget. The majority of its budget, $116 million, goes into collecting waste. $93 million is used for the disposal of waste, and $30 million is spent transferring it. The percent of recyclables compared to that of disposables is 47% and 53%, respectively. Toronto's biggest goal is getting to a 70% diversion rate. Source reduction initiatives include green bin organics in apartments and condos, enforcement mandatory diversion bylaw, volume-based rate structure and billing system, new materials for recycling, improved recycling capacity, reuse and assembly of durable goods for recycling, and townhouse collection. The City of Toronto also wants to develop a mixed waste composting facility. Energy from waste, including incineration technologies, are not considered waste diversion as part of the Ministry of the Environment's policies. In order for the City of Toronto to reach its diversion objective, it must consider non-disposable technologies.
The population of Alberta is 3,645,257 people in 661,848 square kilometers of land. This allows each inhabitant 180 square meters of land. Even though Alberta's population is not the most dense in Canada, the most waste per capita is produced in this province at 1,122 kilograms. In 2008, Alberta produced 4,029,435 tons of total waste. Alberta's waste consists of 66% non-residential waste and 34% residential. 31% municipal solid waste is organic. This includes table scraps, leaf and yard waste, disposable diapers and sanitary products, pet feces, and sewage plant sludge. Paper comprises 34% of total municipal waste in Alberta. Alberta sends 80% of all waste generated to landfills, with only 20% recycled, recovered, or composted. As landfills are the main fate of Alberta's waste, a lot of money is invested into their establishment, maintenance, and monitoring. Approximately $35 per capita is allocated to the collection and transportation of waste. This expense could be due to the widespread nature of Alberta. For example, rural waste may have to be trucked 45 minutes to the nearest facility. Alberta has stiff regulations on the amount of leachate and greenhouse gases emitted from landfills. These standards are met with monitoring programs for groundwater, surface water, and greenhouse gas emissions. About 250,000 to 300,000 tons of material was organic solid waste, and that was composted. As a solution to waste management issues, Alberta Environment has published a document outlining strategies to minimize waste production, conserve resources, advance integrated resource recovery and waste management systems, as well as the protection of air, land, water, and human health. Focus has now been shifted to waste reduction, recycling, and composting. Calgary and Edmonton, major cities in Alberta, spearhead waste management issues differently. Calgary, for instance, is emphasizing waste reduction, while Edmonton is emphasizing composting. Edmonton is home to one of the best composting facilities in North America, which can process upwards of 200,000 tons of municipal solid waste annually.
Nova Scotia is turning a problem into an opportunity. Being a small province of only 55,000 square kilometers, with a population of approximately 945,000 people, they have created a garbage-to-gold solid waste resource management strategy in order to manage the amount of waste sent to landfills annually. The Resource Recovery Fund Board is a non-profit company responsible for the province's solid waste management and innovations to improve the environment and economy. In 1998, organic materials were banned from landfills in order to decrease the volume of waste in city dumps. As of 2008, 49% of waste had been diverted to either recycling or compost facilities across the province. Of the total waste produced in the province, 42% is residential waste, while 58% is non-residential waste. Construction and demolition waste was starting to become an issue in landfills until Bylaw L200 was passed in 2001, stating that 75% of construction and demolition waste must be recovered and reused, not sent to the landfills. Out of all the Canadian provinces and territories, Nova Scotia spends the most on compost and recycling facilities at approximately $110 per person. They are considered to be the leaders in Canada based on their compost and recycling programs. Backyard compost bins are very popular throughout the entire province, and new compost facilities are being built in order to handle the large volumes being produced. Not only does this keep these valuable materials out of the landfills, but it also produces jobs, reduces the amount of methane released to the atmosphere, as well as decreases the amount of dangerous disposal sites. Nova Scotia plans to continue with their success in reducing the amount of waste into the landfill by aiming to have another reduction from current rates of at least 25% by the year 2015. In order to have the funding for this to become a reality, the provincial government is aiming to have producers pay for the disposal of their products. All electronic goods purchased in the province have a $45 disposal fee in order for their diversion programs to continue. And this year marks the 13th annual Nova Scotia Recycles Contest, aimed at promoting recycling to those of all ages across the entire province.
Toronto is a densely populated city with a population just 1 million short of the entire province of Alberta. With this said, it is no surprise that the majority of waste produced in the city needs to be diverted away from the source, making it somebody else's problem. This is not a solution to waste management. Alberta, on the other hand, has more open space, with room to store their own waste produced. Again, this is also not a solution in order to reduce waste production.
But there is hope. Nova Scotia is proof that an implemented management system can turn garbage into gold.